Okay, we're going to go through how to read the card overall. Once you kind of get a feel for it, I'll walk you through everything so you can kind of understand each piece of the card, how to analyze it, and explain it to the group as well. Okay, first things first, it reads like a book, top down, left, right. Okay, you can see we go day 1, 2, and 3, and then going to the right, it's weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this will progress as we move further on. So obviously our day 1, week 1 is going to be up here in this corner, and we'll kind of go through that. Okay, the same concept applies when going through the card itself. So you can see here this T.A. is for time allotted. That's about the amount of time each section should take. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit leeway if they're moving faster or slower. Kind of depends on that. So that's just a general guideline of kind of how the layout is. They'll have about the 8 to 10 minute dynamic warm up prior. Once they come into that, they'll have their injury prevention. The goal is to break them up into 4 equal groups the best that we can. They'll go 20 seconds on at each station with 20 seconds worth of transition. That should be more than enough time to get to the next group, the next area, and be set and ready for the next exercise. So of that, so group 1 would start with our lateral band walks. Once they're done there, they'll move to your front planks. Once they're done with front plank, you got A to Z shoulder and then banded good morning. Then we go through that rotation one more full time, right? So we're not going to go 2 at each. We want to go 1 through and then second time through. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit easier for that. The thought is you can set up one of the timers for 20 on, 20 off, and just have them move with the beat. Okay, so that's going to be the same setup each day. The whole point is to try and be as consistent as possible with that. Once they're done, you'll have a transition time. We have 3 exercises per group. Everyone will start on group 2. Person 1 will do a hang clean. They'll have 3 total sets of 5 reps. And then so our open blocks here is, since we don't have true numbers for each athlete, these are about an effort level. So they would be at 60% of what their estimated 1 rep max is if we were to have that. Okay, so it'll kind of give them a general idea of where they sit based upon what their numbers might be. And then by the time we get further on, we'll get a little bit more concrete numbers and we can dial that in a little bit further. Okay, so person 1 will do exercise A, 5 reps of a hang clean. They'll then go to their exercise 2B, which is a power position box jump for 3 reps. And then they'll go to C, which is a heavy dumbbell sit up. Okay, and they'll have 10 reps of that. Once they've gone 1, 1, 1, they'll go back through and do second set for each exercise. Okay, and you can see here, second set is a little bit higher in weight. They'll go through all of that. And then this third one doesn't have anything. That one's just going to be left open. That means they are able to hold at their weight. They're able to go up if they're able to. So in this first block, since we don't truly know how they're moving or their time off prior, we have general guidelines for it and then a few open sets as well. And you can see in the later weeks, we also have the last one's almost always left open just in case they feel good that week. Awesome, let's go for it. If they are extremely tired from a competition the day before or whatever it may be, they're able to kind of hold. So the whole point of this as well is to have these open blocks where they can hopefully have a pen or pencil and write that in, so we're able to track it week to week to week as we move forward. So that'll be a little bit better with making sure that they're progressing as they're supposed to. So once they're done with block 2, then the same concept, we go to block 3. So they'll go 3A, back squat to med ball, 3B, banded leg drop, and then person 3 is then going to be the spotter for the back squat. Okay, same concept here with the weight wise, about 60% of what their 1 rep max is. Okay, the goal is just to kind of get them moving a little bit, get them down to the structure and format, and then we progress further with more and more intense exercises and weights for that. Okay, once same concept on block 4. Block 5 is our work capacity area, and that's going to be along the track. Whole point is to sprint the straights and jog the curves. They have 4 total laps. Once they're done with that, come together as a group when we go through our wall stretch series. And we'll have handouts for all of these to go through with separate videos as well. And then that's going to be based off of you for time. Blow the whistle to start, stop, transition, whatever it may be. Okay. So that is the general breakdown for day one. Again, same concept of day two and day three. There'll be another video that goes through each of these exercises. This one is just how to read the card. Up at the top, I do want to point out too, once we get specific numbers for them, they will be housed up here for our hang, clean, back squat, and bench press. If we wanted to test other numbers, we can put that up there. This is our vertical jump. If you do a sit-up test, a push-up test, whatever it is, that's awesome. And then we can leave those for open. If I would prefer later on, we would get to a sit and reach test and some sort of mobility test, so we can put that up there to also track that, since that is one of our goals. But again, these open ones are open to interpretation for whatever we may need to do or whatever is required for the class as well. I know some courses do have a requirement as far as they have to do a push up, sit up, mile test, whatever it may be. I kind of leave those open for that. So at any given time, we're also able to look up here and see, okay, obviously this is going to be our coach's card. Otherwise, it'll have the athlete's name. This training phase is more for you and us to go through. We're on weeks 1 through 4. This is fall 2021. And then the goals that we're going for as of now is just kind of general overall development. All right. So that is the concept for the whole thing. Once we're done with the wall stretch series to go through, we really stress our recovery piece of it. Eat, drink water, rest, sleep, go to class, all those pieces. So again, the same thing is kind of bounced from day 1 down to day 2, down to day 3. Okay, that's how we read that. When we initially send the Excel document to you, okay, it will be in our Excel format. Okay. All you have to do is click this gigantic button on the top left, print all. If we click that, it will automatically spit out everything for that. Each individual will have their own name. And then as we get different maxes, they'll have specific numbers for them. So if an individual has all of these are 200, we'll be at 60% of 200, 65% of 200, whatever it may be. So everyone will be on the same relative level as far as percentage wise, but based upon what their 1 rep max is, or their estimated 1 rep max, sorry, it will give specific numbers for them as well. So outside of this card, all you have to worry about is the print all. And then as it prints, each card will look like this with specific numbers and their name at the top for them to have.